everybody. Today I'm going to read kind of a fun book. It's called Grandpa's Teeth. So when I was a young girl, it seemed that, you see right there? Those are called false teeth. Now when I was a young girl, it seemed like almost every adult had those. Now I still have my real teeth. They're not necessarily the best, but they're still mine. Anyway, this is a story about Grandpa's teeth. It's kind of a fun one. Help! I've been robbed! We heard Grandpa shouting. It's a disaster! Come quickly! He was shouting as Mom, Agatha, and I ran up the stairs. Oh dear, I wonder what's happened. Grandpa's room was a mess, but to be honest, it was always a mess. He blamed Gump, his old dog. But Gump looked too old to me to make much of a mess. What was taken? Gasped Mom. Your VCR? Your television? Not your gold-plated golfing trophy? No, said Grandpa. It's much more. Serious. It's my teeth. They've been stolen. Oh my, his teeth were stolen. Grandpa normally kept his teeth in a glass of water by the bed. The glass was still there, but the teeth were missing. You haven't swallowed them by mistake, have you? Asked Mom. Of course not, replied Grandpa. Those teeth were special, handmade by the finest Swiss craftsmen. Agatha looked at Mom and whispered, Why is Grandpa talking funny? You see how serious it is, moaned Grandpa. I may never speak the same again. Are you sure you've looked everywhere? Asked Mom. Under the bed, behind the cabinet, in all the drawers? Yes, replied Grandpa with tears in his eyes. I've looked everywhere. Mom called the police. Officer Rate looked grave. We've done a thorough search of the room and house, but we found nothing at all. No teeth, no clues. Everyone was at home at the time of the theft, so how the thief got in and out without being seen is a mystery. Can you give us a description of the stolen articles, Mr. Pertwhistle? Grandpa frowned. He rubbed his chin, then looked closely at the officer. Could you smile, please? He asked. Smile? Yes, a nice big smile. Officer Rate grinned sheepishly. No, shouted Grandpa angrily. I mean really smile. Officer Rate smiled broadly. Grandpa looked forward, tapped the officer's teeth with his finger and growled suspiciously. They look just like those. Officer Rate looked shocked. I've had my teeth for years. Officer Rate took us all down to the station for further investigation. Using Grandpa's description, the police artist drew a picture of the missing teeth. They put up our wanted poster with all the others. We made copies. We put them all over the town. Oh, wanted. Has anyone seen Grandpa's teeth? Officer Rate rounded up the usual suspects and took them for questioning. All of them were asked to smile. Most of them had missing teeth as well, but just one or two, not the whole set. They even brought in our unfriendly neighbor, Mrs. Carbuncle, because her own teeth didn't fit. But Grandpa didn't recognize her or the teeth in the police lineup. I've never seen her smile before, he explained to Officer Rate. There's all the suspects lined up. After several days, Officer Rate had to admit that no teeth had been found, no thief had been caught, and no new clues had been uncovered. Grandpa suspected everyone, especially anyone who didn't smile. Soon the whole town was smiling at him, although he never smiled back. He had nothing to smile with. Mom even got a call from one of those TV shows, Unsolved Crimes. They came to the house in a helicopter. We had to reenact the whole thing. When Grandpa was interviewed, he asked the reporter, Pearl White, if he could borrow some of her teeth. After all, he mumbled, you have more than enough. Dad called Switzerland to find out how much a new set of teeth would cost. He was so shocked when he found out that he dropped the phone. The only way we could ever afford it, joked Mom, is to sell the house. Grandpa thought this was a great idea. "Who needs a house anyway?" he moaned. "It doesn't help you chew your food." To cheer him up, we all took Grandpa to the amusement park. It was a disaster. He took one look at the front entrance, and he burst into tears. Ooh, that's kind of a scary entrance. Everyone watched Unsolved Crimes, but no one called Officer Rate, and the crime remained unsolved. Some spare teeth were left in the mailbox, but none of them fit properly. People began locking their doors at night, imagining that there was a teeth thief loose on the streets. No one knew who would be next, so fear gripped the town. The thief had to be caught, and soon. Wow, do you think they'll catch him? It seemed that the only way to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the teeth in your mouth were your own was to smile broadly at every person you met. Anyone who didn't smile was immediately dragged off to the police station for more questions and a chat with Officer Rate. So everyone began smiling at everyone else all the time, everywhere, even at funerals. Oh, that must have been crazy in that town. Because of Grandpa's teeth, the whole town was beginning to suffer. Tourists, seeing the endless sea of smiling faces, were too scared to get out of their cars. After a while, they stopped coming altogether. Dad's Cafe, like the rest of the town, was losing business. The mayor called an emergency meeting. I wonder what they're going to do. Let's see. That night, for the first time that anyone could remember, the town hall was full. Speaker after speaker stood up to complain about the loss of customers and the constant strain of smiling all day, every day. Pastor Butters summed up the situation. "While I've always considered this a happy town, there are limits. No one wants to smile without a reason, and there aren't many reasons to smile in this town at the moment. It's time, I believe, to put a stop to it." The crowd cheered. Mr. Pertwhistle had one of the finest sets of teeth in the country, and he alone cannot afford to replace them. In fact, I alone could not afford to replace them either. But if every one of us put $1 in the collection plate tonight, we would have enough money to buy 2 new sets of teeth. Most people put in $1. Others put in 2. Oh, they were going to help Grandpa. At the presentation ceremony, Grandpa opened the package and revealed 2 sets of brand new teeth. Why are they different sizes?" asked the mayor. "Oh, only one of them is for me," replied Grandpa, popping one of the sets into his mouth. "The other one is for Mrs. Carbuncle. Her teeth never fit properly, and she has such a pretty smile." There's Grandpa with his new teeth. Grandpa was very happy with his new teeth. So was Mrs. Carbuncle. They smiled all the time. In fact, they were so happy that Grandpa's old dog Gump smiled too. For the first time ever. And who do you think had taken Grandpa's teeth? Don't tell. This is another story about a grandma. That one was about a grandpa. This is called Coco Can't Wait. A story about a girl and her grandmother. Look at that. Doesn't that kind of look like me? Look at, yeah. Look at a little girl and her grandmother. Coco lives on top of the hill in the house with the purple roof. Grandma lives on the mountain in the house with the orange roof. One day, Coco wanted to see Grandma very much. There's Coco running from her house. And Grandma wanted to see Coco very much. There's Grandma. It looks like she picked some apples or some fruit, and she wants to go see her Coco. There's Coco. She's on the bus coming to Grandma. There's Grandma. Look at her. She's going to see Coco. One's going over the bridge. One's going under the bridge. Do you see that? Yes. Oh, they're so excited to see each other. Dear me, Coco is not here. Oh no, Grandma is not here. Oh, they were so sad when they got to each other's houses. They both started running. Grandma was going to get in a taxi, and Coco was trying to flag down a man in a truck who'd help her. They wanted to find each other. Here they come. Beep, beep, pong, beep, beep, pong. Look at Grandma. She looks so sad. And Coco was so little, she didn't see Grandma go past her. Oh no, Grandma is not here. Dear me, Coco is not here. They still haven't found each other, have they? I can't wait any longer. There isn't a minute to lose, said Grandma. And Coco was on her scooter. Grandma has a little motorbike. Look at that. They're gonna rush. Zoom. We gotta find each other. Oh, how I want to see Grandma. Oh, how I want to see Coco. Here they come. Here they come. Zoom, wee, zoom, wee. Hello, Grandma. Hello, Coco. Oh, they're so happy. Next time, Grandma, let's meet in the middle right under this tree. And Grandma and Coco ate all the apples in Grandma's basket. Look at that. They were so happy to finally be together. This is just one more little book. It's called Grandmas and Grandpas. And I'm just going to show you some fun pictures that kids drew of Grandmas and Grandpas. Does that look like me and Papa? Maybe. Here's another one, a little girl that drew her with her grandparents. Oh, I love it. And here's a beautiful grandma. Grandmothers and grandfathers give a home a friendly touch. It's not me, but it kind of looks like me. When you get older, you get gray hair, and some things about older people are the same. Here's some grandmothers. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? I love this one. Sitting knitting by the fire. One child said, my grandmother is crumpled. My grandmother is a knitting machine. My grandma is a little fat, but nowadays most grandmas are. Oh, look at that. There's the grandpa snoozing on the bench, and there's the grandma walking with the cane. I love her hat. Grandmothers wear long coats to cover up their knobbly knees. Look at that grandma in the long coat covering up her knobbly knees. Here's a grandma. What a beautiful drawing. Here's one riding in a superhero car. And there's one parachuting. Ooh, wouldn't that be fun to do? Maybe that was a grandpa. There's a grandpa smoking his pipe. Here's a couple more grandmas and grandpas. What special people they are. My grandma and grandpa were very special to me. And one last one. Grannies used to be old with gray hair, but nowadays grannies can be quite young. Look at that beautiful granny. Whoa. And one more. I just love these drawings. Look at that. Let's see what the last one is. Oh, this is a fun one. This is their grandpa. Look at that. I love it. Look at the details on the face. Whoa. So maybe you should try to draw a picture of your grandma and grandpa and send it to them and tell them you love them. And you know what? I love you, and I'm going to say good night.
Amen.